From Beverly Hills barnyards to venomous spiders living in celebrity homes, these 13 stories prove truth is far stranger than fiction. Some stars risk reputations, bend laws, and blur lines between pet and predator. And while every reveal grows wilder, it's entry number 4 that truly shocks: when Hollywood meets Venom face to face.
I wish I could text my dog and be like, sweetheart, I'm gonna be home so soon. I'm gonna be there.
Let's start with number 13. Reese Witherspoon Hollywood meetings at her Tennessee estate sometimes pause. Not for business, but because Honky and Tonky, her 2 donkeys, bray so loudly they drown out conversation. Why did she decide to add donkeys to her barnyard in the first place? Reese introduced the pair around 2012. Donkeys can weigh nearly 500 pounds and live up to 40 years, meaning Honky and Tonky may be with her into her 70s. They're not alone. Her property also houses pigs, goats, chickens, horses, and dogs. But the donkeys became the unexpected stars. Locals say their brays carry through the valley, a sound that doesn't quite fit the Hollywood image. Here's the curious part: Honky once wandered straight into a backyard gathering of executives, forcing Reese to laugh it off as part of life here. She also revealed the animals have specialized vets flown in from Los Angeles, turning farm care into a Hollywood-scale operation.
We have rules around the house and things like that.
If donkeys can interrupt an actress's meetings, what happens when alpacas guard a family's children like bodyguards? Now moving on to number 12, Nicole Kidman. On her farm in Sutton Forest, New South Wales, alpacas roam the paddocks like silent sentinels. But why would Nicole Kidman, known for global red carpets, choose animals tied to Andean villages thousands of miles away? Kidman added alpacas after moving to the property with Keith Urban in 2008. Alpacas weighing up to 200 pounds and producing some of the softest fleece in the world are both practical and symbolic. Neighbors say they've spotted Nicole carrying buckets of feed herself, a striking image of a global star ankle deep in mud.
What's the best part about farm life?
The simplicity, the air, peace.
One alpaca developed an unusual bond with her daughters. Family friends revealed it often circled their play area, almost like a protective dog. Alpacas hum softly when content, and Nicole has described the sound as a calming song she listens to while working on scripts. If alpacas can become guardians in Kidman's world, what happens when a rabbit earns its own monogram bedding? Let's continue with number 11, Cara Delevingne. At a private London party, cameras flash not for Cara herself, but for the rabbit cradled in her arms. Cecil Bunny Delevingne isn't kept in a hutch. He travels in a designer-lined carrier and sleeps on custom bedding. How did a simple rabbit become a celebrity accessory? Cecil became part of her public image around 2014. Unlike most rabbits, Cecil has appeared in professional photo shoots and social posts. Friends joke he has VIP status at Cara's gatherings. Rabbits normally live 8 to 12 years, but Cecil's pampered lifestyle, with constant human attention, could extend his life well beyond that. In one interview, Cara laughed about Cecil chewing through a 600-pound designer shoe. Rather than scold him, she called it his rebellion, matching her own notorious edge. Rabbits are known to imprint on owners, and Cara revealed Cecil follows her from room to room, refusing to be left alone.
My typical day, if I don't have to work, I'll wake up as late as possible, take my bunny for a walk.
If a rabbit can shadow a model's every move, what happens when a Hollywood veteran raises a raffle won snake and a dragon in her studio office? Let's go on with number 10, Drew Barrymore. During a school raffle, her daughter didn't win candy or toys. She won a snake. And Drew Barrymore, already juggling motherhood and a talk show, suddenly found herself building a terrarium in her home studio. The snake, named Sus Cecil, became a family fixture. character. Barrymore added a bearded dragon soon after, creating a reptilian duo that most Hollywood parents wouldn't dare manage. Snakes can live 15 to 20 years, and bearded dragons up to 12, meaning her children will grow up alongside them.
This is Jeremy, he's our new bearded dragon.
Barrymore admitted in interviews that she learned reptile care through late-night internet searches. She installed specialized heat lamps and humidity monitors inside her studio office, so she could keep an eye on them between shoots. Visitors expecting Hollywood glamour are instead greeted by reptiles lounging in tanks. If raffle reptiles can become part of Barrymore's office routine, what happens when the Kardashian empire crowns a lizard as family royalty? Let's move on to number 9. Kim Kardashian Northwest walks into a photo shoot not holding a purse, but a bearded dragon painted with matching nail polish. The reptile, named Speed, joined the Kardashian household in 2021 and quickly became a celebrity in its own right. Speed weighs around 1.5 pounds, typical for his species, and thrives in desert climates. Yet he lives in a Calabasas mansion, accessorized for Instagram posts. Kim once introduced Speed on social media as the newest member of our family. Fans were stunned. A lizard breaking into the world's most curated celebrity brand. North insists on taking Speed everywhere, even to fittings, creating surreal moments where handlers juggle couture gowns and a spiky reptile. Experts noted that reptiles need stable heat conditions, so the family installed portable habitats to travel with him.
It's really Kim's responsibility to teach her child how to hold a bearded dragon, how to interact with their pets.
If a lizard can make it into Kardashian photo shoots, what happens when an owl spends its nights perched in a movie star's bedroom? Now continuing with number 8, Salma Hayek. In 2019, Salma Hayek adopted an owl named Caring. Instead of staying in an aviary, this southern white-faced owl often perches on her bedpost, sharing her private space at night. Owls symbolize wisdom, but they also carry associations with omens and folklore. Caring adds an element of mystery to Hayek's home life. She revealed in interviews that the owl likes to rest on her head during reading sessions, startling guests who visit. Owls can live 20 years in captivity, weighing barely a pound but with wings stretching nearly 2 feet. Caring creates an unforgettable presence. Hayek described one surreal moment when Caring swooped down during a dinner, landing calmly beside a guest's plate. Instead of chaos, the bird remained perfectly still, a silent observer.
They're not like the most sociable, not even with other animals, but and also it's a rescue.
If an owl dines beside celebrities in Hollywood kitchens, what happens when pigs and goats roam freely across Beverly Hills lawns? Let's keep going with number 7, Tori Spelling. In Beverly Hills, where neighbors expect silence broken only by luxury cars and poolside music, something different echoes from one estate: bleeding goats and squealing pigs. Actress Tori Spelling has transformed her property into what tabloids once dubbed the strangest petting zoo in LA. Among her collection is a mini pig weighing about 60 pounds, a small herd of goats, several chickens, and multiple dogs. All of this unfolds within one of the world's most exclusive neighborhoods, lined with designer boutiques and pristine hedges. Paparazzi have even captured her pig wandering near the driveway, confusing passersby who thought they'd stumbled into a rural farm. Spelling leans into the chaos. She has spoken about her children feeding goats before heading off to school, describing the routine as grounding in a world dominated by Hollywood pressure. Records show several of the animals were adopted through shelters, originally meant as teaching tools for responsibility, though they've since become permanent family members.
And that was it. That was the only night the pig was in the bed. Anyway, the animals and kids didn't come between us.
To keep order, Spelling commissioned custom-built shelters designed and painted to match her home style. blending barnyard function with Beverly Hills aesthetic. Goats and pigs can redefine life in Beverly Hills. What happens when wolf dogs howl outside the home of a Twilight megastar? Now on to number 6, Kristen Stewart. At Twilight in Los Angeles, the hills echo with haunting howls. Neighbors know they aren't coyotes. They belong to Kristen Stewart's wolf dog hybrids, Jack, Lily, Tommy, and Lola. These striking animals, part domestic dog and part wolf, weigh well over 100 pounds and embody both loyalty and wilderness. Wolf dogs remain controversial in California. Ownership is legal with permits, but animal experts debate whether they belong in private homes because of their unpredictable nature. Stewart's mother, Jules, has defended their care, explaining that the family maintains several acres of wooded land where the hybrids roam freely. Unlike dogs, wolf dogs often require secure fencing at least 8 feet tall, and Stewart's property has been modified to meet those standards.
I wish I could text my dog and just be like, sweetheart, I'm gonna be home so soon. I'm gonna be there.
Visitors describe the animals as majestic yet affectionate within the family circle. Jack, the largest of the 4, is said to shadow Kristen closely, following her on evening walks as though guarding her every step. Wolf dogs typically live 12 to 15 years, meaning Kristen has committed to more than a decade of their company and responsibility. She has admitted that living with them feels both empowering and humbling, a reminder of nature's untamed presence even inside Hollywood. If Kristen walks beside wolf dogs at Twilight, what happens when a pop icon welcomes tarantulas to crawl across her skin? Let's proceed to number 5, Billie Eilish. In one viral video, Billie Eilish let a tarantula crawl slowly across her face. Millions of fans screamed in the comments, but Billie kept a serene smile, revealing her unusual comfort with creatures most people avoid at all costs. Among her collection is a green bottle blue tarantula, famous for its shimmering turquoise legs and orange abdomen. These spiders, native to Venezuela's desert scrublands, grow to about 6 inches and can live up to 15 years in captivity. Billie has described watching them move as soothing, a word rarely used for something so feared. Tarantulas require warm enclosures between 75 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit and controlled humidity. Billie invested in custom glass habitats with precise heating, ensuring her spiders thrive in Los Angeles' unpredictable climate. Handlers have admitted they were startled when she requested her tarantulas travel with her during music tours, a demand most stars would never even consider. In a 2019 interview, she explained, "I think they're beautiful. People don't give them credit for her. Spiders aren't monsters. They're misunderstood companions."
Nothing cute about it. 0.
You're wrong. He's bright blue.
Does he? Oh.
If a Grammy-winning icon finds calm in spiders, what happens when an actor raises a venomous black widow in his living room? Next is number 4, Dominic Monaghan. Dominic Monaghan, remembered by millions as Merry in The Lord of the Rings and Charlie in Lost, lives with some of the most dangerous pets in Hollywood. His collection includes an albino snake named Blink, a praying mantis called Gizmo, and most startling of all, a black widow spider he named Wichita. Black widows are notorious across North America. Their venom is 15 times stronger than a rattlesnake's, and though bites are rarely fatal with modern medicine, they can cause muscle spasms, intense pain, and weeks of recovery. Few people even tolerate them in their garages, yet Monaghan keeps Wichita displayed in a glass tank inside his home. Over the years, his menagerie has grown to include dozens of snakes and lizards, sometimes topping 100 exotic animals at once. Albino snakes like Blink can grow over 5 feet long and live 2 decades, requiring carefully heated enclosures. Praying mantises like Gizmo, on the other hand, rarely live beyond a year, yet he lavishes them with equal care. He's even carried these creatures onto talk shows, making live audiences squirm while while he cradled venomous species in his hands as casually as someone holding a puppy.
As soon as she sits on my hand, she knows it's me, she knows he's safe, and she just falls asleep.
If Monaghan risks housing Venom, what happens when a Hollywood megastar chooses a pet that may outlive him by a century? Now, to number 3, Leonardo DiCaprio. At a reptile expo in 2010, Leonardo DiCaprio quietly purchased a sulcata tortoise for about $400. What looked like a casual buy at the time became a commitment that could last more than a century. This pet isn't just another Hollywood accessory, like it's a companion that may live longer than the star himself. Sulcata tortoises, native to the southern Sahara, are the 3rd largest tortoise species on Earth. Adults regularly tip the scales at 150 to 200 pounds, and their lifespans stretch from 80 to 150 years. That means DiCaprio's tortoise, now roughly 15 years old, could still be alive when today's children are grandparents, potentially surviving into the year 2100. For an actor so publicly tied to environmental causes, the symbolism is striking. A sulcata requires wide, dry enclosures, heated shelters during cool nights, and a steady diet of grasses, hay, and leafy greens. DiCaprio, with estates in Los Angeles and beyond, has reportedly invested in custom outdoor habitats and reinforced pens designed to keep the tortoise comfortable for decades to come. This isn't a pet that can be rehomed easily. It's a multi-generational responsibility, a living reminder of time's endurance.
Am I a nice boy? I suppose that's subject to interpretation.
Maybe he could say table's ready there.
If DiCaprio has secured a pet that could outlive him by 100 years, what happens when a rock legend surrounds himself with more than 100 reptiles at once? Let's continue with number 2, Slash. In the middle of Los Angeles, where neighbors expect luxury cars and manicured gardens, Slash, the legendary guitarist of Guns N' Roses, maintains a home filled with more than 100 reptiles. Snakes, lizards, and massive monitor species occupy tanks stacked wall to wall in a room that looks more like a reptile house at a zoo than a celebrity residence. His fascination began in the 1980s when his fame was skyrocketing and his lifestyle was spiraling out of control. Amid the chaos, he started rescuing abandoned reptiles from pet shops and fans. Over time, the numbers grew into triple digits. Some of his snakes reached lengths over 10 feet, and several rare monitors, including species from Asia and Africa, demand constant specialized care. Maintaining over 100 enclosures requires meticulous work, daily feeding schedules, precise climate control, and regular veterinary supervision. Experts confirm this effort rivals the upkeep of many professional facilities, yet Slash describes handling his reptiles as calming, a sharp paradox for a man famous for onstage mayhem.
And we had upwards of 90 snakes at my house over a period of time there.
At one point, animal welfare officials checked his home, concerned about the scale of his collection, and found everything legal, humane, and thriving. If Slash commands his own reptile empire, who could possibly surpass him in sheer scale and devotion? Finally, number 1, Millie Bobby Brown. At just 20 years old, Millie Bobby Brown doesn't manage a handful of pets. She oversees what amounts to a private zoo with 62 animals. Her collection spans 25 farm animals, 23 foster dogs, 10 personal dogs, 4 cats, and even a pregnant donkey. That total surpasses what many licensed sanctuaries handle, making her household one of the most extraordinary among modern celebrities. In interviews, Millie explained that her mornings begin not with Hollywood stylists, but with buckets of feed for goats and care routines for her dogs. She once told a story about nursing a blind dog back to health, underscoring that her role is not ceremonial. She trains, feeds, and rehabilitates these animals herself. The scope of her arc ensures a lifetime of responsibility. Donkeys can live up to 40 years, goats about 15, and dogs a decade or more. It's a commitment that will follow her long after Stranger Things fades from screens.
She's an actor. She knows when I'm upset. She knows when I'm fake crying.
Is she playing hard to get, or
no,
what?
I swear.
For Millie, animals provide stability in the storm of global fame. While many young stars retreat into luxury, she doubles down on care and responsibility. If Hollywood pets stunned you today, you won't believe what celebrities hide behind mansion doors. From forbidden rooms to secret collections, the next video reveals it all. Tap your screen, the mysteries only grow deeper.